Hi, welcome to the weekend wind down. A time to relax, let go of stress, and get ready for the weekend. And before we start winding down, I would love to share a hot tip for the week, as always. And today's question is: do you sometimes feel that people are going to laugh at you? Do you feel self-conscious? Do you worry that if they found out the real you, that they might laugh or criticize or be shocked or surprised by what they find? Well, I get it. And actually, you're not alone. So many people feel like that. It's actually pretty normal and very common. Um, but I get it. As a shy, quiet, sensitive introvert, I've spent much of my life worrying about what other people think of me and if I'm good enough, if I measure up. In fact, when I was a teenager, Mum was telling her friends how shy and introverted and sensitive I was, and one of them said to her, "Don't worry, she'll grow out of it." And she came home and told me, and I didn't go, "Wow, that's fantastic." I didn't find it satisfying at all or reassuring. In fact, guess what I thought? I thought, "Oh my goodness, I'm going to grow out of it. That means there's something wrong with me. I'm faulty. I'm broken because there's a problem that needs to be fixed." And my mum is hoping that one day soon I will grow out of this problem, and then I'll be okay. Um, and I think all of us as human beings struggle with feeling not good enough. So that experience, among others, sent me off on a lifelong passion of learning about personal transformation. I've studied psychology and theology and spirituality at university. I've studied to be a life coach and a spiritual director, and I've read many, hundreds of books all about personal transformation, psychology, self help, all sorts of angles to try and work out how do I live well in this really noisy, stressful world, in a world where extroverts and people who are loud and express things confidently get ahead, and people that are quiet and shy seem to be invisible. We don't seem to be seen or heard in the same way, not taken seriously in the same way. Well, after lots and lots of study, I've put together all of the hot tips that I have found that have helped me to live a life that is satisfying, that is exciting. It's like an exciting adventure now. I don't have that sense of self consciousness or worrying about what people think anymore. And I'd love to share that with you if you're interested. And these hot tips each week is some of that, the things that I've learned. But I love coaching women. It's not that there's anything wrong with you and therefore you need to be fixed, because I don't believe that. I think you are wonderful just as you are. But what it is it's a bit like an Olympic athlete. An Olympic athlete runs, say they're a runner. They need a coach, and the coach will help them to learn skills and techniques to run even better. I mean, they're already great already, or they wouldn't be there. But they go to the coach, and the coach helps them with techniques, with skills, with just getting that little bit extra speed, a little bit extra technique, a little bit quicker takeoff, so that they can actually do their best, reach their full potential, and really have a fabulous race and maybe even win a medal. So it's the same with a life coach. I love to help women to learn skills and techniques to just navigate through the minefield of our emotions, how we feel about ourselves, our self concept, and teach self acceptance, teach skills in finding your voice and expressing yourself, creating safe boundaries, dealing with stress and overwhelm, and all sorts of wonderful things, whatever you need in that moment. And especially, I love coaching shy women because, hey, as shy women, we're the ones that have so much potential to send ripples of love and compassion and wonderful things into the world if we can be seen and heard. And so often we're invisible, and that really breaks my heart when we don't um, shine the way that we could. So my hot tip for today is very simple. Just whenever you're thinking of it, maybe every little time you do a little something good and you want to celebrate, or even every time you go past a mirror, either do a thumbs up, yes, whoops, I'm going off the screen, either to say thumbs up, yay, I did it, or maybe thumbs up in the mirror. Maybe you can give yourself a high five in a mirror, or just a high five to yourself, wherever you are, just to celebrate that you are good enough. And just gradually, I encourage you to learn more and more self acceptance, because you are a wonderful woman just as you are. So now let's wind down to the weekend. So I invite you to put your feet flat on the floor, put your hands in your lap, find a comfortable way to sit up straight. And now I invite you to just have a sense of how are your feet feeling. Just notice any sensations in your feet, any tingling, any sense of clothing touching your skin. There's no right or wrong way to be, just noticing any sensations in your feet as they are supported by the floor, maybe supported by shoes or socks. Coming up your legs, noticing any sensations in your calves, in your knees, in your upper legs. Not trying to change it. Maybe there's a sensation of clothing touching skin. There might be a tingling sensation. There might be nothing. No sensation at all is still something. Just notice the nothing. Whatever is, just notice what is. Coming up to your torso, noticing the feeling of your bottom on the chair and the bottom being held, the chair holding you up. Noticing the feeling in your belly, your chest and your shoulder blades. Just pausing here and noticing how your breathing is feeling. Letting your breath be normal and just noticing. Noticing whether your belly moves or your chest moves. What part of you, your torso, is still and what part of you is moving as you breathe and as you sit in relative stillness. Coming up to your shoulders, noticing your shoulders and how they're feeling. Just noticing. Noticing your upper arms, any sensations, your elbows, your forearms. And now noticing your hands and just taking a moment to be grateful for your hands. They have worked so hard. They do so much. They're constantly doing things, feeding you, dressing you. Maybe they're typing on a keyboard or clicking on a mouse. Maybe they're cooking or doing crafty things or art. Maybe they're working in the garden. Maybe they're working in wherever you're working. You're very likely using your hands. So just sending gratitude to our hands in this moment. Noticing how they're feeling. Now bringing your attention to your neck and your throat. Just noticing how they're feeling. Noticing any tension. Now bringing attention to your head, your scalp, your face, that part of your skin between your eyes where we hold a bit of tension there. Just letting your jaw just be loose, letting it drop open a little bit if there's any tension at all, and letting your tongue rest on the top of your mouth. And now I invite you to look back over your week. I wonder if there's anything you need to let go of from your week. You might need to let go of something that you did to someone that you feel bad about. Even in this moment, just sending out a little message of sorry. Maybe putting your hand on your heart and just saying, forgiving yourself for anything that you stuffed up. Letting it go. Sometimes we find it harder to forgive ourselves than forgive other people. Just in this moment, letting go of anything you need to let go of from the week. Letting go of anything you've done. Letting go of anything that anyone else has said or done that upset you. Just letting it go. Breathing it out. And letting it go. Just take one slow breath in, breathing in calm. Now one big breath out, slowly breathing out everything you need to let go of. All right, is that better? Now looking back over your week and asking yourself, what am I grateful for? And what else are you grateful for? And what else are you grateful for? Did you come up with at least 3 things? One coach challenged me once to write 100 things that I was grateful for. So that's something you might challenge yourself to do on the weekend if you've got a spare half hour. Just to sit down and see, can you write down even 50 things or 100 things that you're grateful for? That is a really fabulous exercise to do. So give it a try if you want to feel really grateful for all the wonderful things in your life. So now I invite you to ask yourself, what is one thing that you could do for yourself this weekend, just to nurture yourself, just because you really want it or need it, or it was just something that would be wonderful just for yourself, just for you. It might involve other people, but just something that you want. And once you've worked out what that is, have you worked that out? Sometimes it takes a while, but once you work that out, I invite you to set an intention, to say, I intend to do, and set the intention for what you want to do this weekend. Because if we set an intention, we're much more likely to do that thing. Have you done that? If you're watching this on Facebook, please share in the comments the thing that you're going to do this weekend. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, then please share with a friend and encourage them to find something fun to do for themselves too. Just for themselves, to look after themselves, to nurture themselves, for recreation or creativity or whatever that is that they need or you need. When we share it, we're much more likely to remember it, and when we remember it, we're much more likely to do it. And so once I finish recording this, I will share in the comments in Facebook as well my intention for the weekend. And then come back and say how it went, because it's always fun to share. So I invite you, when you're ready, to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe roll your shoulders back a few times, and when you're ready, open your eyes. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and remember, you are a wonderful woman, just as you are. Have a great weekend and see you next week. Bye for now.